Hey, this is Tony Tattoo coming at you with the wonderful Kildares Pub here in the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is Wideopenyyc, and we have a fantastic show for you right now. First, I want to talk about something that is actually gaining world attention, and that is it's going to week 2 now with the manhunt that's on for 2 suspects in the murders of 3 people in northern British Columbia, including an Australian and an American girl who were boyfriend, girlfriend, and another gentleman. And so police are looking for 19-year-old Cam McLeod, and I'm not talking about the original guitar player from the band White Wolf of the 80s rock band in Edmonton, and also 18-year-old Briar Schmegelowski. I think I got that right. And there have been recent sightings in and around Gillam, Manitoba, which is northern Manitoba, and the middle of nowhere. And now the military has been called in to assist, so there's top talent out there searching for these 2, including all kinds of technology. Cam, Briar, boobies, give it up. You know, you ever heard of the term point of no return? Well, you're at it. So the thing is, if you're actually got any kind of communication devices, check this show out on YouTube first of all. But you know what? Just walk up to the nearest constable and go, you know what? It was me. I give up. And I'll tell you what. Speaking of all the technology and all the resources that we're using to find these 2, it kind of reminds me of an epic hunt for a mad trapper. A guy, the name was Albert Johnson, back in 1932, who was located by a small RCMP team while he was first charged with or investigated for shooting an RCMP officer. And they went on a big, huge manhunt. He was called the Mad Trapper. They made a movie about it. And they only had one plane it was piloted by a great pilot from World War I, Watt May. It's very famous. Flying in a biplane in the middle of February. Now figure this one out. You guys do not have anywhere the skills that guy had, and guess what? He was demised. Dave, your thoughts? On all the technology that we have and the fact that we can't find two people.
Well, you got to remember, these are like an 18 and a 19-year-old. They have the technology too. We don't know what they're using. They could have GPS scanners on the cops. They could be, you know, one step ahead of the cops too, through technology.
But yeah, they're stupid enough to be caught on like surveillance cameras in department stores.
That's how ballsy they are, I guess.
So more balls than brains.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these guys need to be found. I mean,
quickly.
Yeah.
Because exactly. neighborhoods are scared to come out, leave their house, and I don't blame them.
That's exactly right. Here's for some little bit of interesting news for you, Dave. Drunken seagulls terrorize the UK. It's a drunken seagull apocalypse. All right, seagulls in Bournemouth were getting drunk from leftover wine and beer bottles, getting all simple and falling off roofs. That's alcohol abuse in my
That's hilarious in my opinion.
Right?
Totally.
So you're there having a cocktail and all of a sudden, you know.
I'd love to witness it.
Oh, totally. And what's up with the Sunshine Girls today, Dave?
I don't look at them. I don't buy the Sun. But from what I've heard, they're nothing like back in our day.
It always used to be a highlight of my day. Okay, and they'd be always on page 3. And by the by, it was kind of an idea taken out of the London Sun, which and the page 3 girls were topless. All right, Samantha Fox, she became famous just for being topless, and she could also sing, except that she got ruined by her dad who was managing her. But now she's making a comeback. Anywho, my point being is now, and I can use kind of an example. I'm going to flash it up pretty quick, but this is an example of today's Sunshine Girl. All right, so she's got some wraps, you know, the MMA wraps and stuff like that, and she basically looks like, first of all, she looks like she can whip anybody's ass, including mine, yeah, kick the shit out of most men, which kind of makes that really, really appealing, I think. So I'm trying not to be. Dave, I'm trying not to be sexist here, and I don't want to be, but again, this is a tradition in our day and age.
Well, it is, and so we're going back to our day and age,
right?
Which was there was a lot of skin involved.
Yeah.
And so that's what we remember Sunshine Girls as. The world has changed, Tony.
Absolutely, and don't get me wrong. We don't want to put anybody into a box, but the Sunshine Girl and what it's all about is kind of like Miss America, right? Kind of like that whole thing, or Miss Canada, or whatever.
Well, an interesting point we heard tonight actually.
They show more skin on Love Island, man.
They do, but the interesting point is, back in our day, the photographers went out and looked for beautiful women that wanted to show a lot of skin, have their picture in the sun, and now we were, well, from what I was told at the bar, was the girls actually go to the sun and pay
to be a Sunshine Girl.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's just all screwed around now.
Right. So if you're paying to have something done, you dress the way you want. You don't have to get naked or half naked. So
yeah, well, the thing is, we're not expecting anybody to get like half naked or anything like that. I mean, I've seen some decent recent Sunshine Girls, but they're like the ones that are going towards like Maxim magazine and
that's what I meant
that
by
direction.
half naked,
Like but God bless her anyway.
Sure.
I think just going out there and doing it, and if you're paying to do it, you know what, you get money's worth, but you really kind of frightening the shit out of me. Well, we have the new trend or challenge, like eating Tide Pods, Dave. Now people are sunburning stencils on their bodies.
I saw that in the news.
I witnessed a photo of one retard, and I'm going to use the retard. I'm going to use it for one reason. It's because you're slow and backward thinking, okay? It's not because you're mentally handicapped or anything else. That's a whole different story. Mentally handicapped is mentally handicapped. There are people out there that are mentally handicapped. They have different diagnoses, but a retard is a retard, okay, in my book. And so he's got a Batman logo on his chest. And millions of people are dying of skin cancer, right? And now you're expected to foot the bill on your cancer treatments because you're a retard? What do you think?
Well, obviously he's not in the right mind. Anyone who goes out and gets burnt on purpose
is a retard.
Deserves an illness. You're not going to get me to say it.
What's the other word for it then? Top Gun 2. All right, have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. It's great. It's
Is
awesome.
it?
Yeah, it looks like there's some really good footage, that type of thing. Looks watchable enough. However, Tom Cruise's love interest from Top Gun 1 is Kelly McGillis was not asked back for Top Gun 2. Apparently not miffed about it. So she doesn't, so good. She doesn't care, but she's keeping it open. She's saying, you know what, if you need any kind of consulting work done on this, I'm open to it. It's kind of cool.
Cool, sure. Yeah. Good for her.
MTV is looking into dropping Michael Jackson from their Video Vanguard, an award following string of allegations of child molestation on Leaving Neverland documentary. So any thoughts, Dave?
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Yep. It was never proven. There was kids who, swore under oath that, I was molested, everything else. I just think let's just get away from it. He had a great career. He's gone now. So why, keep bringing his name back up?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Except the only sad part is that the man was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
Totally a musician.
Absolutely, 100%. He was brilliant to the point of craziness.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to have a little moment of silence, Dave, for Russi Taylor, who, if you didn't know, passed at the age of 75. She was the voice behind Minnie Mouse of the.
I did hear that.
Yeah, Disneyland.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Russi. All right. Finally, one name: Booga, Booga, Booga. Kyle Geisdorf, known as Booga, becomes the first ever Fortnite solo world champion and wins $3 million for playing a video game
with his partner.
Oh,
so they split it.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I did see that on the news. So there was two of them, and the prize, they came in third place,
right?
And the prize was 3 point something million. So they split it. So he's still got $1 million point something in the bank.
Oh, well, is it an American thing? So their government's going to take half of that anyway. At least he's got $500,000.
Yeah, I'm sure the taxes are involved and whatever.
Beating out 40 million players.
Unbelievable.
right? Beating out 40 million players. And you know what? I know Dan's going to weigh on this later. Dan from Dan's Rant. It is starting to become bigger than the NFL, Dave.
I know that.
These
I saw a documentary on it where there was teams of like 6 players, I think, and they're paid by these big companies like Nintendo and whoever.
Yeah.
They practice just like a sports team, and they go to these competitions. Big money, big crowds. Like, it's.
I think
huge.
they should bring back championships to retro games. I mean, I can ace you in Pong.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay, that's it, right? Oh, come on now. You can change the speed of the ball
I'm
and the
gonna
short
tell you,
balance.
I know how to spin that ball on Pong.
Are you serious?
Oh, totally.
Oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, of course you can. That's all we had.
Would he be considered an athlete?
No.
So not like a hot dog eating champion.
You're not an athlete in a. You know what? It's. Oh, never mind. Next.
Well, that's all I got.
Alrighty.
I'll tell you what, it was a good conversation, and I'll tell you what, people, please join us on, watch our show on YouTube. We've got some great, we got some great responses. We got already, a few hundred followers. And the last show last week, we had, last time we looked, 109 followers. Mm-hmm. So the word's getting around, and people are starting to watch and take notice. And just remember, really, that anything I talk about is my opinion, but I respect yours. I will never chide you for your opinion or put you down for your opinion. And I would love to be challenged on any of my opinions and have a discussion about it, because that's what makes this country great and what our forefathers fought for. Join us for the conversation on Twitter, YouTube, and we have a great show coming up for you. The girls are ready to play here with Wide Open YYC.
Well, here we are again. It's been a few weeks actually, ladies,
yes,
right? We've been on holidays, it's summer, but welcome to No Limits. We are here again. We have Miss Lee to my right, Miss Kaz to my left, and we're going to talk about some racy shit today. How is everyone doing today?
Amazing.
Great.
Yeah, everyone's been
I'm a
good.
little jet lagged.
She's jet
Oh
lagged.
yes, your trip. How was that?
My trip was great.
Amazing.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Where did you go, just so the viewers know?
Okay, I went to England. I went to visit family. Had a wonderful time. Had 2 days where I had Monica hair because it was 97 degrees
What's
on
Monica
Monday
hair?
and 100 degrees the next day. Did you ever see the Friends episode where Monica went down to the Caribbean?
She went down. I'm sure she went down to the
Oh, like the poodle do.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's what my hair does.
I know. Mine does the poodle, like my pubes. Same shit, right?
I was wet constantly for 2 days.
I'm not
even
gonna go
gonna say
there.
So it was a good time.
Continue.
I was in and out of the shower. You know, it was so. These two are so dirty.
I don't even know what to say. We're dirty. Anyways.
It was 101 degrees and the humidity was through the roof. So I had to take a couple of showers a day.
Sure you did.
Did you have one of those wee woo wee woo? Did you have one of those like toys?
She has no
No.
idea what that means, but you know.
My
Somebody
imagination's
knows.
running wild.
Anyways, what did you do for the last couple weeks? As we've been going.
Let's see. Visiting family, friends, trying to get some sun. That's about it.
I'm ready to yawn. That is the most boring thing.
Nothing too exciting, honestly.
Well, I went to Vernon and we were
Vermin? What's vermin? That's like a.
Vernon.
Isn't that right?
Vernon. BC Vernon.
Okay. You made me do the
I
second
remember
shot.
my first drink. Yeah, so we went to Vernon and we were stuck on the highway for 4.5 hours between Golden.
Let me guess,
Revelstoke.
Golden Revelstoke. Oh,
I had to pee in a cup. Oh yes, I did. 4 peas in a freaking cup. It
Wow.
was terrible. Yeah, it was bad because where do you pee?
Did you make a pint?
I made more than a pint there, sister. Anyway, Vernon was wonderful. We saw family. It's been an amazing summer. Anyways, off topic. We are going to talk today about a lot of stuff, actually. So last night I was bored. I was like, oh God, my boyfriend's not home. She's not texting me. No one's really texting me. I just kind of felt like a little bit of a leper.
It was a Monday.
It was a
I would have
Monday.
texted
It's
you.
a Monday.
I know, I'll get you.
She would have gone, hey, and I would have texted you.
I watched Shameless. Season 8 of Shameless. Oh my God. Like, if I thought my family was fucked, the Gallaghers, holy shit.
Best show
Shit, you
ever.
know.
Love it.
Anyway, so my topic today, I think that we should talk about is swinging. Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? What are your views on that, Kaz?
I just think if you're an adult and you're okay with it, and that's what you like, and you're not hurting anybody, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I think if it spices things up in your relationship, go for it, absolutely. But it doesn't work that way for everybody, I don't
No,
think.
it's not for me.
Complicates things
Yeah.
for some people. It
Not for
gets
me.
a little messy, and
Yeah.
I don't like messy.
So what if you're in a relationship? Well, okay, let's say like the honeymoon phase, right? We're all in the honeymoon phase at one point, and it's just fucking like rabbits. It's great, slapping the ass, pulling the hair, handcuffs.
You read my mind.
Just saying, I hope it was all for you guys too. But anyway, after a while, it gets a little boring, right? They go to bed at 9 o'clock. It's like, God, I gotta masturbate next to you in the bed on RedTube on my phone. Like, this is not cool. So, let's spice things up. So, today we had a little incident, not here at Kildares, but kind of in the plaza. And there's a lot of fire trucks coming in. And, you know, I'm very happy in my relationship at this moment, but I was watching these firefighters jump out of their wagons, fire trucks, whatever the fuck you call it. These guys-
Engine in England.
I don't
it's
care.
called a
engine.
fire truck.
You said engine, and now I need to change my shorts. This is the problem with firefighters. Every girl knows that all firefighters are fucking hot.
It's always okay to look as long as you don't touch.
You don't touch, but when they come by you, I'm like, "Are you okay, man?" And they're touching you. I'm like,
And they got those big arms with tattoos.
my legs
like,
hurt. Like
all right.
my legs hurt. My calves, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was just really hot. It was really hot, and actually kind of made like I love my man. Don't get me wrong, but I was kind of thinking, damn.
But could you ever be married to one of those guys? Here's my
No.
thing with the firefighters. They train. They have to carry big 100-pound hoses around. No, they do. Would you guys knock it off?
Hose.
Seriously.
Hose.
They have to carry equipment around. Oh my God,
Well,
you guys.
you're doing like a
Seriously.
charade thing.
Not
too.
everything
You're
has to be
holding
like
it.
Big 10-foot
Big
penis.
hose.
Okay,
Dave, help me out here. Dave, help me out. Okay, I'm just saying they have to be trained, they have to be buffed, they have to carry equipment around and wear 100 pounds of shit on them when they're rescuing dames in distress, or kids, or dogs, or cats, or whatever it is. But yes, they're definitely in shape. I will say that.
My question is, why are firefighters so fucking hot?
Because they're
Why
in
are
shape, they take care of their
paramedics
bodies, but
so
their
damn-
wives, I'm sure their wives aren't too happy because I'll bet a lot of them are.
Well,
they
I
get a lot of
couldn't say
attention.
all of
They're like
them.
strippers. They get a lot of attention.
I couldn't say all of them, but those calendars, you know, the guys with the hoses,
Okay,
like
but
you said, thrown around their neck.
You
like
wouldn't
a
want to
snake.
date one though. You wouldn't want to date one.
Well, I think the other thing that appeals to
So
women is
hot.
that
I'm just
their
saying,
job
so
is
hot.
to protect. And you
And
know,
serve.
oh,
Protect and serve.
climb
on
up
a
those
platter.
ladders.
Yes, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to be married to one because I'd be
Well,
always like,
I wouldn't say a
no, it's
lot
like
of
dating
them
a
are like
stripper.
that.
Like your girl's out there strutting her stuff every night. If I was a husband dating a girl like that, I would
He's
be
doing
like,
his job though. He's protecting.
and you don't
serving.
think
He's
for a minute,
protecting and
and you don't think for a
serving.
minute they're reaping the benefits? Come on. Seriously.
I'm just saying.
Knock it off.
I'm just saying.
Was it Jamie Lou Jean or Jamie Jean Lou? I can't remember.
Right?
Right? Exactly. Who is that, that person that, was running in the fields and the meadows that day? Who is that girl? I don't know.
Anyways, firemen today, fun, good show. Got the heart racing, it was amazing.
No,
awesome.
I'm just saying, you firemen, I know it's really hard. I know actually a lot of firemen that actually
it's a tough job.
Work really, really hard. They actually
hard.
Hard. Anyway, they do work really, really hard, and they get where they are, and they, I know of a few, like some people that I grew up with. They do fire and rescue. They do.
Okay, let's get back to the hot part.
They got big dicks. I've never actually been with one, but I've seen those calendars. And unless they're putting like a fucking bounty.
There might be a summer sausage in there, here and there.
Yeah.
Anyways, point being, they're hardworking and they're nice. They're nice to look at.
Have you ever met a non-good-looking paramedic? No. I'll get you. I'll put you in that stretcher, Dexter. I'll freaking wrap you down. I'll pull you in. Like, come on. Like, these guys, like, is that a criteria to be hot to have these professions? Doctors, like, you can give me a pap smear anytime you want. Like, these doctors, like, all these people.
How come I always get the Oriental little 5-foot doctor then? How come I always get the little?
That is racist.
I'm just saying, I never get the hot guy. I always get the little.
I always get the hot guy. Do you want to hear my story at the hot guy?
Sure, let's hear it. Why not?
This was wonderful. So I decided when I was working in the bar, I thought, well, drinking grapefruit juice actually burned calories. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I want to drink grapefruit juice all day, well, the grapefruit juice was expired.
Ooh.
I didn't realize it, and after a week, I had an issue, and it was not good. So I had to go to Emerge, and I wasn't sure I was you know me, I'm a hypochondriac. I'm like, I think
she's Dr. Google.
God, cancer of the colon. I didn't know. I'm not going to give you the symptoms. I'm just saying it was immediate attention. So I go there and I'm sitting there and I'm lying there and this hottest doctor, it was an intern, hottest doctor, I'm talking maybe 26, 27, comes in with those gloves. He's like, let's give a rectal exam. I'm like, oh no. Can I take the old doctor, like up, down in the Emerge number 8? Can I take that guy? Because no, I don't want you. He's like, well, this is what you get. Well, needless to say, I'm not going to go into detail. He's like,
You squirted.
no, I did not.
David, what is wrong with you? Jesus.
You are so piggish. That's disgusting.
He's been hanging around with us.
He gave me a rectal exam, and needless to say, that was the most uncomfortable thing I have ever experienced in my life.
Did poop come out?
No, it did not. That's disgusting. I can't believe.
Well, no, because when they shoved their.
No, it was.
Okay, while we're on this, what's your most embarrassing, Kaz? What's your most embarrassing moment at the long story short? Most embarrassing moment at the doctor's office? No, come on, we're sharing. We're sharing here. We're all sharing.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Come on, there must be one.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on.
I'm thinking. You caught me on the hop, you two.
Well, the candlestick, the hot dog up there. What?
No. I told you this
Firecrackers.
before. No foreign objects go up there.
I know, and I don't agree with that either. No foreign objects.
What's a dex?
Tourette's.
Embarrassing. I'll have to think about that. You go first.
Okay. Pap smears.
No, that's not.
Sorry guys,
bad.
it's
Every
a thing.
girl
It's
has
a thing. It's pap smears.
Every girl goes through
I know,
that.
but you said
I
you're
think
embarrassed.
the guys feel with
Are
that.
you gonna let me finish my story?
Sorry, it was a Tourette moment.
All right. Pap smears. Legs are open. I'm there waiting for my little test, waiting for them to come in and do their little thing.
So what do they do in that pap smear?
Everybody knows what a pap smear is. I don't have to describe
Our
it.
viewers actually.
we're going
maybe
to the
half of them
crab
don't
again.
know.
I think everybody knows, but for Jamie, sake, we'll
Thanks
just,
for the last name. But
we'll go with
edit that
we'll go with this. They insert a little thing inside your vagina and they go,
out. That's like War of the Worlds.
and they open you up and then they do swabs and they test you and all
I gotta
this stuff.
go for one next month.
I was just gonna say, long story short, I had one a couple of years ago with, again, a
Not
hot,
with
a
me.
hot, no, with
Do
a
a
hot,
duo
with a
pap
hot
smear.
doctor, with a hot doctor, with a good-looking doctor.
You actually did a dude
With
doctor
a
to do
good
that?
looking,
No.
like a nice looking doctor. Like usually it's a woman that I do it with because I don't
too.
like men doing that. But it was like a nice looking young guy and he came in. I was like, I haven't shaved in a week. So
I always
this is
shave
like,
before a pap smear.
okay, but I have a
Always.
woman
shave
doctor.
it
I have a
all
woman
down. I
doctor,
put
so it
glitter
doesn't
on
matter.
it. I spritz some lotion in there. I'm like, oh yeah. No
You want to be
fucking
ready
around.
for the camera?
Don't care, man. I care about what people think about my badge.
Okay. Oh, we're getting the sign. All right.
No, get on with your pap smear.
That's it. That's it. I had
So you had a hot doctor.
a nice looking doctor that came in and I
It
was
like
embarrassed.
a boat lift, right?
I was embarrassed.
Cock. You
Oh
just
my
gotta get
God,
out, right?
Jamie, I swear to God.
Oh, I did have a
That's what a pap smear is.
yes.
It
I did.
sucks.
I did have a fun mammogram last month.
A fun.
When they squish your boob?
Is that when they squish your boobs? Now?
Yes. Have you guys ever had one yet?
No.
Okay.
I've had one.
All right. So I went for one this year. I think I'm the only person that's ever giggled through a mammogram. I went last month for my.
She giggled through a mammogram.
I did. I
Whenever
seriously did.
you're on, I want some.
I
Just be clear.
went for my regular mammogram, and they put the first one's okay because you're standing in front, and they press you down, and they press you down on the other side. Two plates.
It's
Yes.
they put your boob in there
But
and they like.
it's the second part that's interesting because they turn the thing like that, and then they have to get your lymph nodes in, right?
Oh.
So
Ouch.
I'm standing there, and we didn't get it right the first time, so I start giggling because I'm nervous, and I couldn't stop giggling, and I'm snorting, and this thing's in, and I'm like this, and I'm
You're
holding
snorting. What are you snorting?
I'm
Cocaine or meth or what?
I don't need it, as you know.
I'll get those Tylenol 3s crushed up in
She's
a powder
pressing
form.
this down, and I'm going. I think that was probably quite embarrassing for her.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd ever seen that before, and I walked out.
I've never
down.
had a mammogram. Well, isn't it when you're 50s when you're supposed to have a mammogram though? Or how's that
They
work?
they actually got me started at 40 because
40.
my
40. I
breasts
think
are
that's
quite
why
generous.
I've had one. It was
Yeah.
so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
I know, but I
But not
think
as
that
bad as a
everybody-
pap smear.
Necessary.
Not as uncomfortable
Oh God,
as a pap
no.
smear.
Oh my God, no.
And
I don't really mind the pap smear
Yeah.
because I'm so used to it because we've
Yeah.
been having it. Like,
Yeah.
I think to all our viewers, to be honest, as women, you
Yeah.
should have a pap smear all the time.
Yeah.
Even from the age of when you get your period,
Yeah.
from a year after.
Yeah.
You should. I'm not a doctor, but you should always get screened
Yeah.
for that kind of thing. Same with cervical cancer, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Especially if it runs in your family.
Preventative maintenance.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Prevention
And,
is the cure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think that definitely wraps up our show.
Sorry guys, this is
Get a
like,
pap smear, people.
TMI, but it was good TMI.
yes.
It was
Saves
good.
lives.
It was good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love you all. We do have to go, but we are going to be off the air for a couple weeks. Just because summer, as we all know, but it kind of gives us time to build up. You're going to like our stuff. It's like those crabs.
Oh no, not the crabs.
The crabs.
Remember what I talked about? It's like those crabs. It's a buildup. So we will see you in a couple weeks. Have an amazing summer. Be safe. And thanks, Miss Lee, for joining us.
Thank
and
you.
my beautiful Kaz and Styles for doing his awesome
Let's get a little high five.
photography.
High
High
five, girls.
That was the
Yay!
shit. That was like Milli Vanilli.
Okay.
Can we do it one
Was
more time?
Milli Vanilli?
Let's do the crabs. The crabs. Stay away from the crabs. Use a condom. Just kidding. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a wonderful summer and peace and love.
See you guys.
See you soon. Bye. Oh my God.
That's gonna
good.
Okay, so we got two murdering little punks on the loose. I'm not even gonna learn their fucking names because they're goddamn zeros. But one person in this story that I do want to address is the father of one of these guys, Alan Schlegama, name. I'm not even gonna fucking pay attention to it. Other than this guy is already coming out with fluff pieces for his kid, saying he's a product of a system. They haven't even caught the murdering little fucking rat yet, and he's already begging for mercy. Now, I understand he's a parent, he's got to try to protect his kid, but he's saying they're a product of a broken system. This guy's been arrested and booked three times for harassment and probation violations. But you're blaming the system? You made conscious decisions to be a part of the system when you became a fucking criminal multiple times over. And now your kid is screwed up because of it, and it's everybody else's fault except your own? You fucked up your kid by being a shitty parent, and now he's murdered people. It's your own goddamn fault. Not the system. We all got our own problems. There are tons of kids whose parents go through divorce and have parents with criminal backgrounds that don't end up being murderers. So no, it's clearly not the system's fault. It's something that you did or didn't do. Don't go blaming other people for your own fucking problems or for your own family's problems, because we all got problems, but we don't fucking murder innocent people in the wilderness and go on a run making the RCMP spend millions of dollars trying to find your piddly little asses. Do the right thing if these two punk shits are watching this. Turn yourselves in and get it over with. This is Canada. We have a pretty good system despite what your dad has told you. And we can get you rehabilitated and we can get you proper health to deal with your clear and obvious mental health issues. Life sentence is only 25 years. Fuck, you can cut a guy's head off in a Greyhound bus and eat his tongue and be out on the streets and ain't. You'll be fine. Do the right thing, come in, confess, admit you made mistakes, and get the help that you clearly need. That's it.
Hey, this is Tony Tattoo coming at you again. This is Political Talk. I'm here with Lee. And
hello.
As you well know, if you've watched the show at all. And we've also got Bobby Blackbird on the phone too to kind of weigh in on a few things that he may be interested in or not interested in, or maybe that we can actually give a little bit of education. He's got a few things that he wants to talk about, but we're just going to kick it off with Lee.
With me? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Listen, just really quickly, it's been a slow summer. The news, Trudeau's just gone in hiding, I think, more or less. Here's a funny one. My good friend Jody Wilson-Raybould is launching a new book here shortly. And I'm sure Justin Trudeau is shaking at worrying about what this book's gonna reveal. And so a little bit of fun with that one.
Hey, Bobby, are you kind of up to date on any kind of this stuff? You know that you've heard about the laugh scam.
I heard about all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jody Wilson Raybould, Lee is actually knows her and her sister very well, and so the thought of her coming out with a book, and also, will it be released before Gerald Butts gets a chance to have a kick at the can? Gerald Butts being the guy that stepped down, that was Trudeau's right-hand man because of fallout, and now he's jumping back into the fray again to be part of the conversation again, or to give advice or whatever on his thing. What do you think about that, Bobby?
Geez, I don't know, man. I think they should all get real jobs. You know, go pack drywall for a while, see what the life's really like out there. You know, give them like $13 an hour, and see how they can cope with life, and then maybe they can understand the way everybody else lives.
That's a really good point.
Absolutely.
So these guys are in such ivory towers protected by all kinds of money that just circulates, you know. it's a no wonder that provinces want to separate when you have governments that treat our money like a windfall.
So here's another one for you, Bobby, because we like talking to we're all working people, and so what would you think? And it would be a secession, right? This is what we call it. Secession. And what would that entail? Before I ask you the question, Bobby, what would that entail, Lee?
Well, if you take what Quebec did, I can't remember what the year of their succession referendum was, but it's essentially you poll the population and see if you can get a majority of the people in the territory that would be in favor of it.
So, what do you think, Bobby?
I guess I don't know, man. It's one of those where, like, I've been to Quebec enough times already where they should separate.
What about Alberta? What about Alberta separating?
Oh, Alberta? Well, there should be Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, except for Vancouver, and get the Northwest Territory should be our own province. Should be our own little country, right?
Yeah.
So
let the East and Vancouver go on its own.
Hey, I like Vancouver. I don't want to have to get a visa to go to Vancouver.
Oh, I like Vancouver too, but have you been there lately?
Well, you know what? Where do you think that they're tied into the regular political scheme? For example, Jody Wilson-Raybould, who was the Liberal candidate for Granville, she's now kicked out and she's going to run as an independent. There are relatively few Liberals that are Vancouver, right?
Right. I would vote for Jody. I like her.
She's awesome. Hey, so listen,
you know what I think? You know what I think one of the problems is with voting Trudeau in is all these potheads that turn around and said, oh, he's going to legalize weed, so these idiots fucking voted for him, and now all these guys that smoke weed are getting impaired. How about that?
Well, it's the potheads and the immigrants too, right? Like he's been opening up the doors and trying to entice the immigrants as well, which I have no problem.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one.
So where are you trucking these days?
I'm loading some pipe out of Camrose tomorrow morning, heading for Kelowna.
Oh yeah, and how's the truck running?
Oh, it's garbage, buddy. Garbage. I'm quitting this job. So hopefully my boss doesn't hear this program, but I'm quitting this job, joining a new guy in Calgary. They're going to buy me a new Freightliner and trailer.
Attaboy.
And he wouldn't be like the type of people you talked about last week?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, he is. Oh. The part owner is, the young guy with the money, and then there's my buddy there who decided to take me on.
That's awesome. So are you gonna relocate to Calgary, or are you gonna still live in Edmonton?
No. I can still. I'll get all my servicing and everything I need out of Edmonton. It's going to be great, and I'll be out of the east for the most part and doing mostly west.
Nice.
Perfect.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
So I was just in the east last week. In fact, if you don't know, I'm a First Nation lawyer. I'm part First Nation. My community's up in northern BC, Yukon, and I'm a lawyer by trade. And I was last week at a national gathering of Indigenous people. We met in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and
Nice.
And I got to tell you, I don't know along your truck route, if you have too many opportunities to meet with the Indigenous people, but you know what? Indigenous people and truckers kind of get along. Like they're, good, wholesome community people. So
for the last 2 years, I was driving up like Prince Rupert, doing northern BC, and I love the native people. They're great. They just got a bad rap, that's all.
Yeah, but I'll tell
for the city folks, eh?
That's right. Hey, I'm going to tell you, my report back from the East Coast, from New Brunswick, is that the natives are getting restless. Here's my perspective. Trudeau led everyone down this golden path of singing Kumbaya, and he had a way that he was going to get everyone working together, and then he screwed over Jody Wilson-Raybould, and you know what? The Native people aren't very happy with him. They're not very happy with Scheer coming in, and here's my guess. I think that after this next election, you're going to be seeing a whole bunch of new litigation coming out this fall and winter.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't like Scheer and I don't like Trudeau. I would be happy even with the Green Party. Let's put it that way.
You know what?
The way things are going.
That's really an interesting. You're not the first person I've heard say that. You're the first redneck I've heard say that, but.
Yeah.
So what do you think is a way forward? How do we get Trudeau out? How do we work? Like, I don't know. Like, do you think we just try to get the Green Party in?
Well, to get Trudeau out, I think that's already happening. There's enough. Just on Facebook alone, like, he's being cut up so much. Like, it's the only thing is all the votes, and if like the last voting thing, wasn't it rigged or something like that, right?
Right. What about his pipeline deal? I mean, he did that to try to get the Alberta economy moving, get our oil to India and all that. What grade would you give him between A and F on the pipeline file?
For Trudeau?
Yep.
Yeah, it was totally an F.
Full on F, eh?
Yeah. They should get that pipeline rolling for sure, man. Everybody uses fuel, and we all drive cars, and it's going to boost the economy. And we all know Alberta's been the main money maker in Canada for years and years. So they put everything to a stall, right? Like, now Alberta's crashing, and let's just get rid of the guy, build the pipeline, and get on with life. But
Bobby, we did there. They did a poll recently. It said 25% of Albertans feel that the mismanagement of resources is so bad that we should get out of Confederation. Never mind Quebec. We have 1/4 of Albertans saying, you know what, let's get out of this. We could run this on our own. So you said let's do everything but Vancouver. Is that a reality, do you think, or are we just so pissed off that that's what we're saying?
Yeah, I think that's just what we're saying. I don't know. People in Quebec are good people too, right? They're Canadians, and the country should stick together, of course. But just the way everything's going, it's chaos, man. It's a joke. One person says something, and then the sheep follow, eh?
Well, and that's right. And what I don't like, in my own perspective, is, take Trudeau, for example. He's governing the country on the basis of SNC-Lavalin and how he can get his cronies in Quebec and Ontario to keep supporting him in the Liberal Party, right? It's playing off one end of the country against the other. And the other thing that bothers me about it, and to bring it back from an Indigenous perspective, not to go overboard on it, but Albertans are feeling exactly what Indigenous communities are. Like, we need you guys to help us out. Give us some infrastructure. Give us something, a positive view of how we're going to get through this together. Because if not, First Nations, just like Albertans, want to say to Canada, if you don't like the treaties, then rip them up and let's start again, and we'll do our own thing with our own resources. You know what I mean? It's the same conversation. I was privileged enough, Bobby, to be in northern New Brunswick with some really amazing friends. And in northern New Brunswick, they're pretty sovereigntist. Like, they, as Indigenous people, they only had the peace and friendship treaties. There was no surrender release language in there. And so when they go around their communities, they're pretty affirmative and very forthright in their sovereignty. We were in northern New Brunswick, and we crossed over to the Quebec side.
Right.
And the Quebec and New Brunswick don't get along exactly because of this whole thing between sovereignty and all that. And we were in this restaurant, and I'd agreed to pay the bill for this lunch we had, and the server goes, hey, is that together or separate? And with a French accent. And my friend Ken Mitchell, who's a really interesting Micmac man, he goes, only Quebec separates. And the whole restaurant around us was looking and just laughing like crazy. It was so good.
Great.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, well, what
I was going to say is if in BC you run this pipeline, and I know some of the indigenous people were against it and stuff because it's, you have a spill, you're going to ruin the land, and that's guaranteed. Right. It's going to spill into the water, you're going to ruin, you're going to kill everything, right? That I'm not too keen on, obviously, because, everybody loves the planet. And, it's a touchy subject because, if something like that does happen, then, there goes a lot of population, man, and a lot of people will be very, very pissed off.
So quickly, I would suggest that really the federal government really look hard at the indigenous group that are looking at buying the pipeline or buying into the 51% ownership, because then now you have to provide stewardship.
Right.
And the thing is, we all know that the oil pipeline companies have been not exactly forthright with people about spills and this and that, everything else like that. I think that if there was a 51% indigenous watchdog who owned that bit of that part of pipeline, that I think that would really solve our environmental threat.
Well, sure. Look it up in Fort McKay up by Fort Mac there and stuff, and people are getting diseases off the fish and cancers, and it's not a good thing, right?
It's not a good thing.
Absolutely. Hey, Bobby, it's been great talking to you, and thank you for taking your time. And, and we'll have you on as regularly as possible.
Keep on trucking.
All right. See you later, guys.
All right. See you.
Hey, this has been Tony Tattoo. This has been Wide Open YYC. We'd love to have you guys tell everybody about us, to check us out on YouTube. We already at our 27th episode. We're plugging at it. We're keeping on going, keeping on, as they say. Join us for the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. And I'll tell you what, just be nice to each other. Keep it between the ditches. And Randy Crow.